Welcome to Traffic Masters Academy. My name is Terry Lamb with followterry.com, and in this video marketing module, what we're going to be discussing is equipment, tools, and software that are really requirements and my personal tools that I use to create leads and traffic from YouTube. It really all starts with the camera. Now let's talk about video cameras. This is quite confusing for most people. I'm going to give you a lot of different options here, and I want you to think of it this way. You're doing video, you simply need an HD capable camera or a few other things I'm going to show you that don't require you to have something like that. So it really depends on how you're doing the videos and what you're doing moving forward. However, I'm going to show you all the different options. The very first thing is really any HD capable camera. I personally use the Canon Vixia. There are all sorts of models. You literally can go to your local camera store or go online, and just about any camera is going to work out of the box. Now, when I got started, that really wasn't the case because there are several other layers beyond really what the camera is capable of that you need to be aware of, but we're going to talk about those in upcoming lessons and video training here. However, suffice it to say that really any HD camera will work, and you'll see what I'm getting at here. The next one is a recently capable HD camera that I have is called the GoPro Hero. It's very small, it's used for a lot of action shots, but that's not really what you need to use it for. The nice thing about it is it's very simple to use. It's an on and off button. You turn the video on, you turn the video off. It also takes pictures. However, it takes really good HD, basically 1080i or 1080p video, and it's just really easy to use. And there's a lot of different accessories that come along with it. Of course, with any camera, there's a learning curve. However, the GoPro Hero is really universal, and like I said, I use it. I have all of these different things that I'm going to show you. And a few things that I like about the GoPro Hero, or really the Canon Vixia series of HD cameras, is they're really just turn them on, start recording video, and then you can really grab that video off of the camera, put it onto your computer, and edit it like I'm going to show you in some future modules. But it's very straightforward and easy. There are better cameras that are much more complex. I just have to tell you, I don't think you should spend your time trying to figure out the high-end cameras if you're just getting started, because really what you want to do is get your video shot and then on to the editing, which we'll talk about in the future, and then up on the internet and use that as a lead generation device and tool in your business. The next camera is really just a webcam. I have one of these. It's the Logitech C920. I'm not exactly sure of the price range, but it's very inexpensive, and it plugs right into your computer, and you could use this completely all by itself. You could. I shoot a lot of videos and live online video shows on YouTube with that camera alone. And it's just a little tiny thing that plugs into your computer. It captures right to your computer. It's the easiest thing in the world to use. It's a really great thing if you're just getting started out. And let's think about this for a second. A lot of people believe that when they get a webcam, they have to do these maybe even cheesy webcam videos where it's just your face, you're leaning into the computer. You can actually take this camera and stretch it over, because it plugs into your computer with a USB cord. You can stretch it over to a pod or a tripod and literally use it as you would any of the other cameras. It doesn't have to be, like I said, just the headshot while you're sitting in front of your computer. The next camera is the concept of having no camera and really just doing what's called screen capture. Do not think that you can't do just screen capture, especially when you're getting started, and really not have to have a camera at all. What you're doing is you're doing what I'm doing here is I'm screen recording a PowerPoint slide and talking into a microphone. That's just as much of a video as doing live video. I will tell you that you really need to be doing both, but if you're just getting started and you don't want the complication, although the Logitech C920 is very uncomplicated, if you don't want the complication of live video, or you're not quite ready for that yet, screen capture is the easiest thing to do. And in future modules here, I'll be talking about some of the software and ways to use that software to do screen capture video. But right now, we're just talking about equipment, tools, and software in terms of equipment, which is camera, and in this case, really don't need a camera if you have the right software to just capture the screen like I'm doing here. Now let's move on and talk about lighting. This really is the key. It was the key for me, and the very first thing to think of, and this one was really not shown to me, I thought I had to go buy an expensive lighting system, is the easiest way is natural light. I literally can stand in front of one of the windows in my house, like a very large picture window, open it up wide, put the camera in front of the window as I'm looking out the window, and all of that natural light coming in works really well. Lighting is key when it comes to putting together a good quality video. And natural light, even if you just go outside with a nice backdrop and you're out in the natural light, your videos will work really well, and you won't have to invest right away in a lighting kit. Now let's talk about lighting kits, and it's really called a soft box. You can get these anywhere on the internet. I bought a kit on Amazon, and what I do, you'll notice if you look at the photo here, it's called a softbox light, and it's quite bright, and I actually take that white cover off the front, and I get the brightest light I can, literally as close to my face as I can, and you'll find that you really need that extra level of lighting if you're not going to use or don't have the ability to set up a video shot or maybe even a video studio like I have with natural light. So I actually have 2 of these lights, and I have 3. I use 2 of them. It's usually plenty. I put them right in front of me, just out of line or out of sight of the camera, and it works really well. And I don't even use it to the extent where they make it a softer light. I just take that cover off the front, I get the bright light. As much as you can illuminate the video, the better it's going to look. Now let's move on and talk about software. There's quite an extensive list of things that you can become familiar with here, but you do have to have the basics. The very first thing that the couple different pieces of software that I use, if you're using a PC, and I really use both. I use a PC and a Mac, and I'm going to talk about both of them. For the PC, I use the Sony Movie Studio series. There's a lot of different series of those, but what's nice about it is they have some really terrific training, and we'll talk about that. And because you're going to need to learn how to use this thing. It's basically, I'm going to tell you what you need to accomplish when we get to that module or that section, and then you'll be able to simply go find out how to do that. The other thing is called Camtasia. That's actually a software that allows you to do the non-camera recording like I'm doing here of a PowerPoint slide, and it's called screen capture or screen recording. That is really all you need when it comes to basic software in terms of editing and then of course rendering your video. Now when it comes to the Mac, I use what's called Final Cut Pro and ScreenFlow. Same concepts as above on the PC. Final Cut Pro allows you to do any major video editing and rendering, and ScreenFlow allows you to do things like screen capture. And you can still do live video editing with ScreenFlow. It's just that the Final Cut Pro or the Sony Movie Studio allows you to take it to the next level, and I'm going to show you some tips and tricks in a coming module that will really bring out the power of these 2 different software tools on the front end. Sony Movie Studio, Final Cut Pro if you have a Mac, and then the screen capture / editing software, which is either Camtasia or ScreenFlow. Now I mentioned this already, but training is really straightforward. I don't suggest that you get any of these software tools and try to figure it out yourself in terms of not getting any training. However, all of them offer training, and that is going to allow you to not be as intimidated as it can look when you first get into these software tools, because a lot of it is going to be about what I show you in the future, in future modules here, which is, what is it exactly that you need to accomplish? As long as you know what you need to accomplish with these software tools, it's easy to accomplish them because you can go out and ask the question. I say here, YouTube has training. Everything I've ever needed to know about using Sony Movie Studio, Camtasia, Final Cut Pro, and ScreenFlow has been as easy as me going over to YouTube, typing in what I'm looking to do, which again, in future modules, I'll show you what you're looking to do to your videos when it comes to editing, and all of the training is right there for free. It's very easy to do, and there's not a lot of different things you need to do. A few little edits, render your video, and you have a final video that you can put up on your website, put up on YouTube. It's very straightforward. So that's it for this module. I'll see you in the next video.